Hi guys, so today we're going to pick up on some notes. There'll be no live class today, so please just copy the notes into your science notebook. So today we're continuing lesson 1. We're going to talk about inheritance. So our traits are inherited from our parents and they are carried on DNA. So if you notice, you kind of resemble your parents. That's because you get half of your DNA from each parent. So you're 50-50, 50 from mom and 50 from dad. So parents pass traits to offspring in 2 ways. They include sexual reproduction and asexual. We talked about this a little bit in the plants. So it's kind of the same thing, but a little more complicated in animal organisms. So asexual reproduction is reproduction by cell division and mitosis, where our offspring are identical to our parent. And they include bacteria, amoebas, and some plants reproduce this way. So if you look in the picture, you have one bacteria. That bacteria divides into 2 identical daughter bacteria. There's only one parent. Then each daughter divides into 2 identical daughters, which then divide into 2 identical daughters. So bacteria can multiply very rapidly. So 1 equals 2, and they usually multiply in about 15 minutes. So that gives us, if you did 15, 30, and 45, you're literally quadrupling the number that you have. So very quick, very simple. Only one parent and the offspring are identical. The next is sexual reproduction. This involves 2 parents and your offspring are similar but not identical to each parent. They include a combination of traits from both parents. In our fish, we reproduce through sexual reproduction in the process called spawning. So sexual reproduction requires DNA from your sperm cell and your egg cell. So they combine. And that DNA is carried on your genes. These are distinct segments of DNA that carry the genetic information for your cell processes and traits. The DNA is found in long strands that are coiled up, kind of like wrapping a ball of yarn up around a protein to form chromosomes. So that's where I'm sure you've heard of our chromosomes before. So chromosomes, the number is different for each organism. So for example, humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, so we have 46 total, whereas koi have 100 chromosomes or 50 pairs. So it's crazy to think that a fish has more chromosomes than us, but it just depends on the organism, and that dictates how many chromosomes they have. Our reproductive cells include egg and sperm, and each contain half the number of chromosomes. So they each contain 1 copy or allele of each gene. So your egg cell you get from your mom, and that is 23 chromosomes. The sperm cells come from your dad, and each sperm carries 23 chromosomes also. When they combine in a process called fertilization, then you have your 46 total. If they combine in the right way, and everything goes right, that will eventually develop into an embryo. The process of making your egg and sperm cells is called meiosis, and that is how they are made in our bodies and in other organisms that reproduce through sexual reproduction. What happens is the chromosomes in the cells replicate and they divide twice, resulting in 4 cells with each half the number of chromosomes. So basically you have your chromosomes double, they divide, and they divide again. So what genes you get from your parents is very random because there's 4 possible combinations through each cell division of meiosis. Next is fertilization. This is when egg and sperm combine and each contribute 1 allele for your traits. So here's your egg and that has all your chromosomes, and the sperm with all the chromosomes, and they combine to give you an embryo or baby. How the alleles are sorted and combined is a matter of chance. Our fish reproduce through spawning, so it's a little different. What happens is your female lays a vast number of eggs, usually hundreds of them, and 1 or more males will fertilize them. And they fertilize them by depositing the sperm over top of the eggs, the female eggs. So the koi produce thousands of offspring in a single spawning because the female lays so many eggs. But not all of them survive. A lot of them get eaten, but the ones that do survive will turn into our baby koi.